Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about some travel tips that I've learned over the last, say, 2 to 2.5 years. So I've always been quite a avid traveler, but recently I have been traveling a little bit more, and I want to just share some of those tips with you guys today. So first of all, please do subscribe if you're not already. Do press the like button. It does really help me out, and see my other travel videos too. I've got tips on Ryanair, EasyJet if you're traveling with them, how to get the best hotels, some hotel reviews. There's really something for everyone. So do have a look at that if you're looking for something to do in these dark January days and something to pass the time with. So without any further ado, let's get started. So my first tip would be to try and sit near the back of the plane. Now, why in the back? Everyone wants to sit at the front, surely, because then you're first on and then you're first off. Well, actually, no. Firstly, does it really matter if you're the first on or the first off? I mean, everyone goes to the same destination. So, and most likely, especially with Brexit now, everyone's in the third party, the third country queue when you get to immigration, or you have to wait for them to deliver the bags. Sitting in the front is just, in my opinion, anyway, a little bit overrated. If you, obviously, it depends. If you are traveling, like if you want to travel business class first, whatever, then of course you're going to be nearer the front, and your baggage normally gets priority then anyway. But if you're just a standard tourist or nomad traveler, then really I don't see a huge advantage in sitting closer to the front. If you want extra legroom, then choose the extra legroom seats in the middle or over the wing. But that actually brings me to my next point, where if you are going to choose a seat like Ryanair, Wizz Air, I think he's just all right actually, but Ryanair and Wizz Air, if you don't choose a seat in advance, you can't check in until right before the flight, which is, I find anyway, a real pain. Just not knowing what seat you're going to be in, or not being able to print out the boarding pass like in time. So what I would suggest in those situations is there's a few workarounds, like Wizz Air have an auto check-in. If you do book a Wizz Air flight through a travel agent as well, then they are able to check you in and email you the boarding pass. Otherwise, I suggest you just choose the least expensive reserved seat. So, for example, I prefer the aisle, then it's easier to get out and um, walk to the galley or the bathroom. But if you, obviously, some people prefer the window. So, what I would do in that situation is just choose the least expensive preferred reserved seat. So, and generally they are nearer the back. Also, nearer the back is sometimes more convenient, or nearer the galley or the bathroom if you need to use it. It's generally a little bit quieter. There's not so many children in the back area. It's mostly just people either working on their laptops or sleeping. I just find the whole experience. You're also, because the back is the one of the not so popular parts of the plane, you're also more likely to have a empty row or empty seat next to you. So you get a little bit more room anyway, even if you don't get more leg room. So that's a money saving tip for you there. Talking of travel agents often can get you better deals, like I said, with the Wizz Air trip there. They check you in, email you the boarding pass. They just take all that stress out of it for you. And then when you arrive at the airport, if you're not dropping off a bag, you can just walk straight through to departures. So also, travel agents have access to deals and promo codes that the general public don't have access to, or get them earlier. So it's another reason why you might want to use an agent, especially if you're busy, if you're that sort of person that doesn't have time to trawl through all the different sites looking for the best option. So, um, and travel agent also, like the name suggests, acts as an agent. So if you're using them to book, say, flight, hotel, transfer, it's just one person to speak to for all of those things. So, and we all know, right, these days with airline services, with chatbots and it being pretty hard to get through to a human being sometimes, that the agent can do that for you if something goes wrong. And agents can often also add bags, reserve seats, and extra services on your flight for a lower price than, say, an online travel agent like last minute would be able to do it for you. So if you aren't good at like finding the reservation online, if you aren't that tech savvy, you don't like to use the apps, then that's another reason why using an agent might be well suited to you. But the questions that you need to ask if you're not sure are, will they give you the information to log into the airline's website or hotel's website and make changes or add services yourself? Are you able to do that? With some you are, with some you aren't. And will they give you for the flight, so that 6-digit reference number or whatever it is? Some airlines also need to see like the credit card information that was used to purchase. I know that Wizz Air do. So will they provide you that information, or will you just have to go to them for any changes? Like what happens in those situations? You need to find out. And you need to find out what their policy is when you make a reservation with them on changes, refunds. Are they allowed? Are there any fees? How long will the refund take to process? These will vary not just by agent, but by the agent supplier. So a lot of agents have different relationships with the suppliers, and these factors will all depend on them. So, moving on to the next tips. Just trying to pull my notes up here. Oh yeah, learn to travel light. So with a lot of airlines charging for baggage, even the legacy airlines like British Airways, I think on most flights they charge now if you want to check in a bag to have it in the hold. It's always best to just learn to travel with hand luggage. You're obviously, if you don't have a bag in the hold, it's not going to go missing because it's with you the whole time. So that's one reason you also save money. If you're traveling to a destination where things are fairly affordable to buy, you can maybe just think, do you really need to take that toothpaste or face cream, whatever it is with you? Like, could you not just buy it when you arrive? Unless you're traveling to some sort of place in the wilderness somewhere like Antarctica or something, you can probably buy these things when you are at your destination. So that's one thing. Learn with your clothes, maybe if you want to mix up outfits, like take different layers and different things that you might be able to just change a small part of it and still it looks as though you're wearing a whole new outfit. That's another thing. Learn to borrow a bit more and share a bit more as well. Like a place I recently stayed, and lots of hotels have a book swap. So if you're leaving your books there, you don't want to take them back, then you can just take a book from someone else and you can leave yours at the end. It's just a loop that goes round and around. So, and it's far better for the environment as well than always buying new things. So like if you know there's some holiday makers departing in the next few days, maybe you can ask them like, oh, are you going to take that back with you? Or could I have it? Like just being a little bit creative in these things can definitely help you out and help you travel light. You can also get a travel wash. I'll put the link in the description. It's 100 milliliters, so you're able to take it in hand luggage. And as long as you have hot water and somewhere to dry your clothes, then it's just as good as doing laundry or having access to a washing machine. So that's another thing, that because hotel laundries charge a lot of money for just for laundering your clothes, then you can make the same ones last a bit longer as well. So it's also a good idea if you have children, they might get stains on things and you can just rub the stain with the travel wash, it'll come out. And finally is this doesn't apply to all airlines because not all airlines have a loyalty scheme, especially budget ones, but say British Airways, Virgin, Air France, Air Baltic, Delta, most of the legacy ones, Iberia, for example, do have a loyalty scheme. They're not as good as they used to be, unfortunately. That's just the way things are. But often they do partner with, say, British Airways partners with American Express. So you can also earn or spend points this way. A lot of airlines also partner with each other. So say British Airways partners with Iberia, Finnair, Qantas, American Airlines, a few others. So that means you'll earn points on their partner airline flights, and sometimes you're able to spend them as well, although sometimes the rate for spending is not so good. Sometimes if you join more than one scheme, you can also transfer your points between the two airlines. And that sometimes gets you better value, especially outside of school holidays. So another good thing about being a member of the loyalty scheme is that you automatically get priority if a flight is overbooked and they need to offload passengers, then you're automatically on a standby priority list or you won't get offloaded. And just by having that status with the airline, they don't want to annoy you because they think you might be a loyal customer that does a lot of trips. So you will have some advantages there as well. And they're just generally sometimes a bit nicer to you if they see on your boarding pass you've got the loyalty number there. You might be a bit more likely to get an upgrade and that sort of thing, or be able to reserve a seat for free. Sometimes some let you also check in a bag for free if you're part of their loyalty scheme. So it's definitely worth checking out, even if you never plan on traveling with that airline again. You never know when they might be useful, or you could transfer them. Some do let you transfer between like hotel schemes as well. I know Radisson Rewards lets you transfer to British Airways or I think Air France as well. You might say, like, isn't it hard like having all these usernames and passwords for the different schemes? Actually, no, there's something called a ward wallet. You can put all of your loyalty schemes in there, not just for travel, also for like shopping and others. I can't think what else. Like eating out, restaurants, some of them can go on there as well, or your travel flight reservations go on there. So it's just handy having everything in one place and you can see your status, how many points you have. So I'll put all these links in the chat. Thanks so much for watching the video today. I really do hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments if you've like ever used any of my tips or found it useful, or you're going to use some of my tips on a future trip, then do let me know how it goes. I'm always happy to hear from my followers. So thanks so much, and I'll be back soon with another video. Please also do subscribe if you didn't already.